Hello there, welcome back to Christian Friendly. In today's video, I'm going to give you a general background about the IELTS reading test in general. So, as you can see, IELTS reading tests last for 60 minutes, and there are three sections, two of which contain 13 questions each, and the rest of the passage contains 14 questions. So there will be 40 questions altogether, and if you get all the 40 answers or 39 answers correct, you will get a band 9, which is the highest band score in the reading section of the IELTS. And the three passages become increasingly more difficult. They become progressively difficult. The first passage is easy compared to the two other passages because the first passage is an expository or descriptive passage which uses words to appeal to our sense organs like visual, auditory, uh, olfactory, gustatory, and tactile images. There are concrete passages. We can visualize what is described. So the first two passages are easier. But the third passage is the most difficult one. That's because it contains at least one argument, one logic, and it's abstract in nature. So the last passage becomes the hardest one. Unlike in the listening test, which allows you 10 minutes transfer time at the end to copy your answers from the IELTS listening question booklet to the IELTS listening answer sheet. But in the reading section, you won't be given extra time to transfer your answers from the IELTS reading question booklet to the IELTS reading answer sheet. All you have to do is get hold of the answer sheet right in front of you. As you come across the answer, you just write it down straight to the answer sheet. So how many words can you write as an answer to each question in the IELTS reading? The maximum number of words you can write or you should write as an answer to each question in the reading section is 3 words. You can't write 4 words. The maximum number of words you write is 3 words and 1 number. No 4 words and no 2 numbers. Or sometimes just 1 letter. That's it. Should I read the passages A to Z? Should I read the passages thoroughly, completely before I answer the questions? If you are new to IELTS reading, the answer may obviously be yes, because how come possible to answer the questions without reading the text completely? However, the answer is no. That's because the passages contain considerably more information than you need to get the answers done. And the next important thing is during the IELTS reading test, time flies. You won't have much time to read. So instead of reading the text and enjoying them, you should really use certain reading skills to your main purpose should be to get the answers done instead of reading and enjoying the text thoroughly. Instead of reading the whole text, you should survey the text by reading the title, the subtitle, and the first few lines to get the general idea of the whole text. So after reading the title, the subtitle, and the first few lines, you should stop reading the rest of the text. You should anticipate what the rest of the text is about. So you should use certain reading skills to be successful in the IELTS reading section. So here are some of the reading skills that you should use. The first reading skill is skimming. Skimming, by the way, means reading a certain portion of the text very quickly, 3 to 4 times faster than your normal speed just to understand the main theme of the text. For example, when you read a newspaper, you use skimming. Skimming also means ignoring the words you are not familiar with. You don't understand. Don't get stuck at a word you don't understand. Instead, ignore these words, skip these words, and keep reading. While skim reading, don't focus on grammatical words like in, on, the, and other prepositions. Instead, focus on content words, noun, verb, adjective, adverb only. That way you'll be able to read faster. And the next reading skill is scanning, which means looking for certain or specific information in the text. For example, date, proper noun, data, or percentage very quickly in the text. Scanning, by the way, is not reading. Anyone can scan. It's an easy skill because all you have to do is just scan, run your eyes along the lines of the text and search for some specific information in the text. And the next reading skill, which is the most important reading skill, is reading for detail, which means reading a certain part or section of the text very carefully, allowing more time to decide the answer. This is where most students go wrong. They know skimming, they scan certain or specific information in the text, but when it comes to reading a certain part of the text carefully to decide their answer, this is where most students go wrong. And even if they know how to do skimming, how to do scanning, but they get their answer wrong. And the next reading skill is identifying paraphrase, which means quickly identifying synonyms of the words given in the task in the passage. IELTS is all about synonyms. Whether it's listening or reading, writing or skimming, synonyms are always checked. So be prepared for synonyms. One of the question types that frequently appear in the IELTS reading section is true, false, not given, which requires you to decide whether certain statements are true, false, or not given on the basis of the information given in the text. For example, suppose this is a line from the text and this is a question. This is the task and this is another task. And let's decide whether it's true, false, or not given. For example, if the text says the tree is native to Australia, and if the statement says the tree is only found in Australia, is it true, false, or not given? It's not given because we do not know whether the tree is only found in Australia or elsewhere too. The passage doesn't say anything about elsewhere. By the way, this is just one example, one statement from the text, but I haven't given the rest of the passage, just an example. Let's look at another sentence. The tree originally comes from Siberia. What is this? Is it true, false, or not given? This is not given. Sorry, this is false. That's because the passage says it's native to Australia. Native means originally comes from, but it doesn't come from Siberia. But the passage says it comes from Australia, not from Siberia. So this is not given. We can correct the statement by referring back to the text. So with this, we've come to the end of today's lesson, which is about a general background information about the IELTS reading section. And if you do have any queries, do feel free to ask me in this comment section below. In next videos, I'm going to teach some strategies to tackle each question type in the reading section of the IELTS. Or I, you can also watch some of my videos on some of the question types in the IELTS reading section. And if you do have any queries about my other videos, please do feel free to ask me. Well, with this, we've come to the end of today's video. And please don't forget to like and comment on my videos. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We'll see you in the next videos. Until then, take care and good luck with your study.